Could you,
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Well, wait. You have my information now.
What information?
Well, you know what's on that.
I had to give it to the person that you wanted to. I didn't open it. I
Yeah,
know,
but you know who it goes to.
I do. How else would I have gotten it there?
I don't agree with that. You need to tell me explicitly when you're going to give a piece of paper that I handed you to someone else that I told you to hand to. Hey everyone, welcome to GameGorgont. My name's Indigo.
And I'm Krug.
And today we're going to be talking about how your computer is filled with spyware today at 10.
We're gonna try really hard to stay educational here because we think that's the best kind of tone for a subject like this. Please forgive us if we don't. So why are we talking about spyware in games? Because there was a kind of outcry recently on the internet because of something called Red Shell. There were a lot of games found on Steam to contain some code written by a company called Red Shell. That code is being used to integrate games into Red Shell's platform, which is designed to track the way that game developer advertisements perform.
Yes.
Effectively, here's how it works. You as a game developer will set up a Red Shell URL. That URL is going to be set up with a couple of different things. Just some, normal tracking stuff like what's the name of this URL? Give it a name. And then what is the game that it belongs to? Which one of your games is it associated with? And then you're gonna give it a landing page.
Yes.
The landing page is, if a user were to click an advertisement with this Red Shell URL, where would you want that user to end up? So for example, let's take Fallout. It would be Bethesda.com/Fallout or something like that. Then when that developer creates an ad for Fallout, they would use the Red Shell URL instead of just putting the landing page in the ad. So when a user clicks on that URL, they are directed to Red Shell server first. Red Shell server is going to collect some information about that user's computer, not about the user, about the user's computer. That information could be anything from the user agent, which is basically what browser you're using, the screen DPI, any information that is available to a web server, anything that you are already telling the rest of every website that you go to about your computer. And then it would combine all that information into what's called a fingerprint, which is a unique string of information that identifies that computer. So now Red Shell has that fingerprint. Now, the developer, the code that the developer has integrated into their game is going to do that same thing when a player installs the game. It's gonna collect that same information, it's gonna generate a fingerprint. That fingerprint, theoretically, should match the previous fingerprint from that given user. And so if Red Shell sees two fingerprints that match, it knows, well, this user must have clicked on this link. And so now I can tell you, if this link was associated with this advertisement got one click that led to an install. That is the purpose of Red Shell. There is a lot of outrage about Red Shell.
Unnecessary.
There was a lot of unnecessary outrage about Red Shell.
Now we're going to have a special segment on the show. We're going to address some of your comments and concerns about Red Shell, and we decided that the only real way to do that is to go straight to the comments, and we're gonna read them here out loud.
And I do want to be clear, we did cherry pick these. These are explicitly comments that we don't agree with, or that we can prove that are wrong. These first couple comments are gonna be directly from one of Red Shell's videos, which kind of got attacked. I mean, for lack of a better term, it wasn't really an attack, it was just people going on the video and commenting, this is spyware, basically. So let's start. Friendly reminder that Red Shell is literally spyware, and they will likely end up selling your data, including passwords, as there is a keylogger element to whomever bids on it. There is no evidence that there is a keylogger involved at all.
No.
I've not seen a single shred of either user-generated evidence or anything through the documentation that Red Shell provides publicly, nor have I seen any reason for there to be a keylogger included.
No, not for the information that they're looking for, and what they are selling is that you clicked on an ad.
Yes.
And you have also purchased said game.
Correct. Again, they're not selling information about you, they have information about your computer. We also have a comment that says, wait a minute, isn't this like actually illegal? No, it is not illegal for them to gather information about your computer that you effectively make publicly available by visiting a web server. This is kind of a long comment. I'm not gonna read through the whole thing, but I am gonna read through the last little bit here. They aren't content to just send you ads. Nope, gotta invade your computer and spy on you. I paid for the game. I didn't ask to be spied on. They aren't spying on you.
No.
They're using technology to determine when an ad is effective and when an ad is not effective. They're not taking any information about you at all.
No. And in fact, the information that you could construe as being spied on is the fact that, hey, their Facebook advertisement was successful. It made, 50 people buy it versus their Twitter ad that only 10 people bought the game.
There's also a video from The Know. This particular video is a pretty bad introduction.
Yes.
For me to The Know.
Sure, I can see that.
It seemed very opportunistic. Anyways, The Know was a little fear-mongery in their video. There were some comments in their video as well that we wanted to address. Here are those. How would it know what YouTube video you watched before you bought the game that has the software in it unless it goes through your internet history? That's something we already explained. It does not need to go through your internet history. It pretty much can't go through your internet history unless it were to install a browser extension in Chrome and that browser extension were to obtain your permission to go through your browser history. Chrome's pretty tight about that sort of thing. So suffice it to say, it almost certainly doesn't do that.
It doesn't. It does know that you were on YouTube when you clicked on the ad.
Right.
But it doesn't know what video you were watching when you clicked said ad.
Right. And the reason they know that is because each ad has a specific link associated to it. So I, as the developer, will say, this is my YouTube ad link. And I'd probably have more than one link per ad. So that I could say, this is the ad that goes across the top of YouTube.
Yep.
And this is the ad that's like a video in YouTube. And each of those will have a different landing page.
Yep.
And using different links from Red Shell, I'd be able to differentiate which ad was clicked.
Yes.
This is kind of another long comment. I'm just gonna read the little bit that we need to read in order to talk about the thing that I'm disagreeing with.
Or in short terms, address.
Address. The user's basically talking about the lack of disclosure, and at the end they say, but we didn't know, nor was it disclosed in any TOS that I'm aware of, that there was any telemetry whatsoever. I'm going to come out here and just make a bold claim that every TOS says that they're allowed to have telemetry, and it's very, very general, 99% of the time. And again, I'm gonna be completely upfront. I did not go through every single game's TOS.
But they're all such like copy and paste of each
They are
other.
very boilerplatey. They're written in as general terms as possible so that any kind of data exfiltration within reason and within the law can be seen as within the TOS. And that, for example, I'm just gonna put up one from Elder Scrolls Online. It basically outright says that this is okay.
Yep.
That at any point, we or a third party can take X data from you. And last but not least, this is sort of a cheeky one and it had a lot of thumbs up, and so I thought we'd address it. It goes like this. Translation from the developer's press release is, sorry for getting caught with our pants down. We'll make sure we don't get caught again. I don't agree with that at all. I think a majority of this apologies and we're gonna take this telemetry out of our game is mostly coming from reacting to the public reaction.
Yeah.
It's placating. It's not genuine apology.
Why don't you guys head down to the comments and give us your thumbprint so that we know that you've hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell icon. While you guys do that, you can head over to Twitter and you can talk to us and we'll get your second thumbprint so that we know that you have both subscribed, commented, and talked to us.
None of this is how this works. None of it. This is all wrong.
You can talk to me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
You can also reach me on Twitter at CrewQT. You can also reach both of us at _QueueTimes on Twitter. And if you want to talk to us on Instagram or post pictures or look at our pretty pictures, it's at QueueTimes on Instagram. We have been GameGorgont. We will see you guys next time. Don't burn off your fingerprints. That's not going to help you on the internet.